Hi, I'm Megan Skidmore, and this is the Beyond the Shadow of Doubt. I'm a woman, daughter, sister, spouse, mother, life coach, and person of faith on a mission to normalize asking questions and allowing doubts, not only in a faith journey, but in all aspects of life. Join me in bringing this traditionally taboo topic out of the shadows of shame and into the light. I'm a firm believer that we normalize through more talking and engaging in discussion. More talking peels back, exposes, and erases the layers of shame associated with questions and doubts. When we're more authentic about our journey, we are more powerful because shame has no power in the face of authenticity. Welcome to part 2 of my interview with Andrea Giles. In today's episode, she candidly shares how the decision to leave her first marriage was probably the hardest thing she's ever done, and that for the very people that teach agency, her leaders, to not honor the decision to cancel her temple ceiling felt so dismissive. If you haven't already, make sure to listen to the first half, episode 67. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this or any episode. Shoot me an email at hello@meganskidmorecoaching.com. How does one, you work with others who are perhaps faced with a similar choice?
Yes, I do.
And how does one, I don't know the right word to use, come back from or recover? Our faith communities are like a home, we could say, for many, especially if that's all you knew your entire life.
Yep.
And at the heart of it, most that I know don't really want to leave. If that's the case, there's usually a pretty darn good reason. And it often has to do with a lot of hurt, a lot of misunderstanding, or not feeling seen, I guess.
Yep.
But you have, you went ahead and married your second husband, and you have a large, bustling, blooming, energetic family life. So how does one come back from that experience, which, like you said, was crushing, absolutely crushing, to feel like I would be second, how did you say, second rate or second for eternity, and that what I had to say wasn't enough? How do you put one step in front of the other forward?
Yeah. So really, I will just be so honest with you here. Where I'm at right now with all the things, just all the things, I've really, in the past year or so, given myself permission to really look at everything and challenge everything, question everything, and go run it through the filter of what do I think? Not what does so-and-so think? Not what this person thinks. Andrea, what do you think?
Yeah.
And, it's been a really beautiful experience to learn my own mind, actually, to really step into becoming a more critical thinker and really looking at what I think. And for me, in the past, it's been about a year since things have really cracked open in my faith journey. And what it has meant to me is this beautiful space of being more honest, more in a true pursuit of truth, truly pursuing truth and truly pursuing what it looks like for me to live in full integrity with my own values, with my own views. And I'm still in it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still navigating. I think
we all are, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Because every day brings new insight or information or experience.
True. Yes.
We're truly living beings on not just a physical level, but an emotional, physical, mental, spiritual.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. I actually just this past Sunday went to church and had an experience where I just felt this peace that, Andrea, you're in the messy middle and it's okay. It's okay. It's not a problem. Because I definitely have had moments of oh my gosh, what am I doing? Am I for real? In really questioning all these things that I've always just taken for granted, all these things that I've just bought, right? Like, whoa, am I for real? Like, what are you doing? Are you blowing up your life? Are you, there's a lot at stake here. And I felt just this peace that you're right on track. I have felt over and over and over again, Andrea, this is really important for your progression. It's important. It's crucial for your progress. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And so I keep going. And part of it has been holding on to the things that are true, like holding on to the things that I really do align with, and being willing to loosen my grip on the things that don't, and just owning it, that it's okay.
I remember some of those first moments where I really was presented with this option to learn to not just what I think, but to trust it and to really lean into my own wisdom. I had to I knew what personal revelation was, right?
Yeah.
I grew up experiencing the way that I understood it to be. You know, however you want to refer to that, when we commune with the divine, right? And we feel the divine in our lives guiding us. And I had to tap into that when I started this journey, because up to that point, I had been able to look at materials or guidance or handbooks or talks and whatnot on how to navigate my religious / faith journey. But I was unequivocally faced with situations that there were no paragraphs written about, and especially because it was specifically about my situation with my kiddo. I remember trying to figure out, what do I do? For those that are of the LDS faith, we have this pamphlet called the For Strength of Youth pamphlet. And I still wanted to instill strong values and morals, right?
Yep.
But how do you navigate when, a booklet says no relationships until a certain age with someone of the opposite sex, right?
Yes.
It did not apply to my
Yep.
situation.
Yep.
A lot of it didn't. And so it was an instant, immediate kind of baptism by fire in learning even more what it meant to trust my own intuition, my inner wisdom, that inner voice, that connection with the divine, personal revelation, and to believe that it really existed. I think we talk about it a lot, but it's more to the tune of, as long as it aligns with XYZ.
Yes.
Versus your personal guidance, your personal whisperings from God are for you.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm closer to the divine than I ever have been in my life previous till now. And it doesn't look like something that fits inside of a box.
Yes.
Or
Isn't
that
that
has
interesting?
a lot of check marks next to it, or
Yep.
is in a handbook, right?
Yep.
And that can be kind of scary.
Indeed.
So I bring that up because that's what I hear you saying. You had to do a lot of that, learning to trust yourself,
Yep.
learning to listen to your own thoughts, really, and believing them.
Yep.
So I'm in a quandary right now. I kind of have my general questions that I ask. I use them more of a guideline, a framework from which to use as a jumping off point for my podcast interviews. And one of my next questions is about cultivating and fostering open communication. And I truly believe this, that I don't think it's just a nice thing to do. I think it's essential to do. I don't think there's any other way to navigate these messy spaces. And I'm checking myself as I'm listening to you share your lived experience, and I'm feeling pain on your behalf. There's a part of me that's angry.
Yeah.
That you, and by extension, those with whom you work, your clients, they're faced with these harrowing choices. I mean, it truly doesn't make sense to me. I don't have any answers, but in a spirit of putting my money where my mouth is, I'm vocalizing that, and that I think this is where it's so important to talk about these things with one another and to get rid of the fear and the shame of getting ousted from the group in a physical way, or maybe in a social or emotional way, whatever that might look like, right? But the fear is real.
Yeah. Can I add something here?
Absolutely.
I think too that part of what has been so hard for me personally is that one of the core tenets of our faith is about agency, that we get to
Mhm.
choose. And what I have learned is, especially in the example around the temple ceiling, is I had my choice taken from me. I didn't get to choose. I didn't get to choose.
It wasn't a
Uh,
true
it
choice.
wasn't a true choice. I made my choice, and they did not back up my choice. And really, it's my life, right? It's my eternity. It's my life. And to have people who don't know me, who don't know what my marriage was and the heartbreak that I experienced and how hard it was for me to even arrive at the decision to leave. It was hands down probably the hardest thing I'll ever do. And for them to, it felt so dismissive of, we don't quite believe you, and to not be able to choose. Um, the irony in it, right? Of being in a church that professes agency above all, to be able to choose, that we fought for it, that we fought to have agency, and then to have the very people that teach that not honor it. And yeah, it's been a challenge. It's been really painful. And one of the things that you said something earlier about looking at how close you feel to God, and that how interesting it is that it's not based on all the checklists that you
Mhm.
maybe lived by prior to your faith journey. And same for me. Like, it's so fascinating to really feel so strongly, Andrea, keep going. This is really, really important. Keep going, keep going. And to have it look different than what I've been prescribed as the right path, right? It's very uncomfortable sometimes. It's very uncomfortable. Like, wait a minute, how is this okay? But when I look at my heart and my real experience, it's good. It's good. And I have felt that confirmed again and again, that this is part of my progression. Keep
Yeah.
going.
I think that's a key way, the only way really to continue moving forward. There's no question in my mind when I feel aligned in something, in how to move forward, when I have pondered it, when I have tried to look at all sides the best to
Yep.
my mortal ability, and weighed pros and cons, and then move forward the best I know how. And another thing I've noticed in the Megan post 2019 is I'm much more forgiving about myself. Just because I make a choice doesn't mean that's the end all be all, right? I think we're so afraid sometimes to move forward in making a choice because, again, there's that fear that it will be the wrong choice. I've since shifted my view on that. I believe choices just teach us. We learn what's working and then maybe what doesn't quite serve us so well. I hear you so loud and clearly on this experience, how dismissed you felt when you were you made a choice, and yet that choice, because of policies, because of leaders making decisions, your free agency was essentially taken from you, and to feel dismissed by that. And I sensed an even deeper layer there, like they couldn't even see that that was what was going on for you. How soul crushing, right? It was hard enough to come in the first place and to come to that decision
Yep.
of what to do with a temple ceiling, something you did not take lightly.
Yep.
But then to have your choice essentially be taken from you, and to have those around you not even be aware that that's in fact what was happening.
Yep.
It struck me as you were sharing. I think that's what's happening often with our LGBTQ plus siblings is
Hmm.
there's some blinders on to how certain policies or choices of leaders or that kind of thing is affecting real people in a very, very real way.
Yeah.
And it's seen by some, probably those that are smack in the middle of it. But similar to your leaders regarding your decision about having your ceiling canceled, right? Leaders who there's certain policies in place regarding LGBTQ plus folks, they're not able to see how those are truly, again, it's not a blanket statement. I'm not saying that there aren't leaders out there who aren't trying to be loving as or compassionate as much as they're able to, but I still think there is a fair amount of blinders on that.
Yep. I can tell you, I have extended family members, nieces, nephews, different people who are LGBTQ plus, and I love them and I care about them, but there's nothing like having it be your own child to go, oh my gosh, I better know what I am talking about here.
Yeah.
And I remember the moment, like when the reality hit in my brain of that cognitive dissonance of like, wait a minute. And so uncomfortable of going, I can't say that to her. I can't say those words. I can't. And it's very different when it is your child, and even in my first marriage, it was hard for many years, and I stayed and I gave it everything I had. And it wasn't until it really came to a head, particularly with one of my children, where I'm like, I just realized in a moment, this is no longer a safe place for any of us. And that's, I knew I needed to go. And it's interesting to see that pattern in myself of going, I can go along and try to be understanding and give the benefit of the doubt and all of that. But when it came to my own kid, and it's a very different experience.
Yeah.
And the same old answers just don't land anymore for me. And I feel a responsibility to educate myself and really understand for myself what I believe, so that I don't do harm to this child that I adore.
Yes. I feel that so much. It's as close as you can come, I believe, to it happening to you personally, without it actually happening to you personally when it's your child.
I agree.
And this pulling that you're talking about, I remember I just couldn't say the words that, I knew would hurt. It's the closest I have felt. I've used this before. I don't know any other way to describe it. It's like my soul is being ripped apart from the inside, having to choose between, the thought of having to choose between two things that are so very dear to you.
Yeah.
But one of the most beautiful things about coaching that I learned is you can take a step back and look at your beliefs and re-examine them and decide what you really and truly feel about them, what you think about them, what about them makes sense to you, what about them you have questions about. And even if you decide to believe that belief all over again, the process of going through that, the change that happens, the empowerment that happens is you can't get it any other way.
Yeah. Yep.
Learning what a belief is, that it's a thought, and this as a coach, that we've thought so many times over and over again, that it's one of those pathways that's deeply ingrained in our brain, and it feels true because we believe it. Of course, when it comes to faith beliefs, I do believe in this mind and heart connection, but I don't think we should undermine what both are speaking to us, sometimes screaming to us. So
I agree.
Yeah, I talk about that. I think it's in one of my very first episodes, The Anatomy of a Belief. That's one of the most liberating concepts to
I agree.
embody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of questions, or I hear this concept of safe space is talked about frequently in our communities, whether it's civic or faith or family or whatever. Can you share what has worked for you, or what do you do to create safe spaces, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, it's both in my business and in my home.
Uh-huh.
What a safe space means to me is that people in that space are willing to hear you, even if they don't necessarily agree, even if they don't understand, that you will be believed, that that is your experience
Yeah.
and not judged for it. Because we're so quick to judge what we don't understand, right?
Yes,
We're
we
so quick
are.
to judge what we like, well, I have no experience with that, and that sounds like this to me, so I'm just going to assume, right?
Yeah.
A safe place is where we drop all assumptions and really listen and
Mhm.
hear people's lived experience and believe them.
Yes.
Believe what they're saying. Even if we have no understanding of it ourselves, believe them that that is their experience.
I think that is so important as well. And I do think the default response is often, well, that's not what I've seen or I've experienced
Yes.
or
Yes.
been told or taught. Therefore, no,
Yep.
you must be incorrect. And
Exactly.
yeah,
Yep.
the definition of invalidating
Yes.
responses.
Yes.
Yeah, that's at the heart of it. Drop assumptions and just listen.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, anything else that comes to mind that you'd like to leave with
Yeah, I have
listeners?
something that is coming to mind is,
Okay.
so part of my work that comes up a lot is helping my clients make sense of uh, things that don't make sense to their minds. Like, how can this person who I love have hurt me so deeply? How could this person that I love have made these choices that were so not in character for them
Mhm.
and so hurtful to me? And one of the things that I help my clients do is, like most of us, they have come through life with very black and white thinking, and very either you're good or you're bad, you're right or you're wrong, you're this or you're that, right? And one of the things that I help them grow their capacity to hold is nuance, being able to hold that there can be two things that you hold at the same time that are both true. And in regards to
Mm.
the faith
Wow.
journey,
Yeah.
I think it's a parallel that we've been taught, so it's this way, right? This is the
Uh-huh.
way, the only way, the one way. And I think that it is maturity and growth to be able to learn to hold two truths at the same time.
Even if they are seemingly contradictory.
Yes, even if,
Yeah.
yes, two contradictory truths. Like, to the infidelity piece, it's this person really betrayed my trust, like to the core in the most painful way that they could have, and they're still good. And this person is still good. And for my clients to be able to arrive there is very powerful. It's very empowering
Hmm.
because they're not making a reactive decision. They're not, you're awful, I need to get away from you. They're
Right.
really raising their consciousness, raising their understanding of really being able to look at the data of the situation and go, is this a wise place for me to stay based on the data, right? Based on the data. And in the matters of faith that we're talking about, I can say for me that part of my growth has been the exact same thing of going, how can something that has brought me peace and joy now hurt so bad? Like, how can that both exist? And my brain, of course, is just like everybody else's. And, well, I guess I need to go, or I guess I need, or no, jump back in and go all in, right? My brain wants to just be one way or the other, right?
Do either
But
or. Mhm.
yes, either or. But I think that real spiritual and emotional maturity is actually being able to hold both and using a higher consciousness, like values, like
Yes.
integrity, to lead the
Yes.
way forward.
Yes. Holding that tension is a skill.
It is a skill. It
And
is a
it
skill.
doesn't come naturally, especially when we're not really taught to do it. And I don't mean that necessarily just in our own faith. I think in many ways,
Oh yeah.
society,
Oh
at
yeah.
large.
Yes. I think our brains want certainty because it's it doesn't hurt our brain so much to try to think through
Yeah.
things if we just
For
know and don't have
sure.
to think about it, right? So I think it's a human thing, just a brain thing.
Yeah. Yes, such a great analogy. Thank you for sharing that.
You bet.
Um, we've probably touched on this throughout the course of our conversation, but the last question I like to ask my guests is, what does it mean to you to live beyond the shadow of doubt?
Hmm. I've been thinking about that. What does it mean to me? Gosh, I think for me, it means actually making room for the shadows, and that I don't have to be totally free from doubt. I don't have to be completely outside of doubt. That I can learn what it means to me is pulling up a seat next to me and saying, "Tell me about it. What's going on? What is this? Let's understand this." And I
I love
think that
that.
in welcoming and pulling up a chair and asking ourselves questions with curiosity and with open arms and without pushing it away because of our own fear, I think that's how we get through those doubts. I think that's how we arrive to the other side of them and make space for them without them being quite so threatening.
Yes.
So I guess I think that the goal isn't to be doubt free, to be beyond it. I think the goal is to grow our relationship to doubt.
Yeah. I love that. I love hearing my guests' responses to that question because it is such a thought-provoking question. It's kind of an uncomfortable one at first. You really have to think about it.
Yes.
I love your answer though. Pulling up a seat, making room for the doubts and for the shadows, sorry, and saying, tell me about it.
Thank you.
Spoken like a true life coach.
Uh,
So, just a few more for fun questions. I didn't tell you about these. I throw them out at the end so we can get to know you a little bit better. Just one
Perfect.
or two word responses is all I'm looking for.
Okay.
So, tell us your favorite book.
Jane Eyre.
No hesitation.
I
That's a good
love it.
one.
It's so good. I love it.
Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
Um, you
Right,
know,
right in the middle is fine too.
I'm kind of in the middle. I love people.
Yeah,
I love being around people, but I always have to have a recovery time.
me too.
Yep. I'm an introverted extrovert.
Yes,
Yep.
I've heard that one before. Yeah, good
Yep.
one. Who is your favorite artist?
My favorite artist. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have to think about that one. Do I have a favorite artist? At the moment, my mother. And I'll tell you why. Because my mom, who is almost 70, decided to take up watercolor. She's never painted in her life.
Oh my goodness, I love that.
And she's decided to take it up, and she's actually very good. Like her instructors, like you need to get these in a fair, sell these paintings.
Has she
She's at
framed any? Do you have any
yeah,
framed
yes.
on your wall? Oh
I
my
have
goodness.
one in my bedroom that she
Oh,
gave me for my birthday, framed, and it's beautiful. It's
I want to
beautiful.
see it. That's fun.
I'll have to send you a picture of
Yeah,
it. It's so
do.
beautiful. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, do you consider yourself a night owl or a morning lark?
Neither. I used to be a morning lark. I've never been a night owl ever. Not in college, never. Just nope, put me to bed. I used to be a morning person, and as the years have gone by and I've had more children, and I mentioned earlier that I had a very big surprise. My baby was born at 44. I was 44 when she was born. I'm now 46,
Yeah.
and I'm just tired. I'm just
Yeah,
tired. So if I can catch a few extra minutes of sleep, I'm gonna take it.
I would too.
Yep.
Yeah, no harm in that.
Yep.
Do you have a celebrity crush?
Well, I like Hugh Jackman.
That's a
I
fun
g
one.
I got to see him in Music Man, and I was on, like, the 3rd row,
Oh my
and
goodness.
it was something else to see
Did you feel
him.
his sweat?
Oh my gosh, he was so close, and then you turn around, and right behind me was Donny Osmond. Right behind me.
In the audience?
Yes, he was there to watch the
No
show, and afterwards,
way.
I got to shake his hand, and he was very generous, very nice, kind man.
What a
But
cool
it was
experience.
awesome. But yes, Hugh Jackman. I
His
like Hugh
Hugh's
Jackman.
best friend is my celebrity crush,
Oh, who's this?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's a good
Anyways,
choice. Also a
That's
good choice.
yeah.
I love it.
Anyway, do you do still or carbonated water or diet soda?
All of the above.
All of the above.
And usually,
Um,
I'm showing, for those of you listening, I have my sparkling water. I have like a little flavored one. I always have multiple beverages on my desk for whatever sip I need next.
I'm kind of the same. Yes.
Are you?
Got my Stanley right
Yep.
here with my caffeinated Crystal Light in it.
I love it. When I have soda, it's usually Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same. Okay. And the last question, tell us the furthest place you've traveled.
The furthest place, gosh, Europe. I have been there several times. I went for the first time as a foreign exchange student when I was 17, and my parents were really, really broke, but I had the opportunity to go. And so I worked my tail off and made it happen. And I went and lived with the German family just for a month, but I went to the German schools, and
that is fantastic.
I've lived there. My first husband got a master's degree from Oxford. So we lived in Oxford for a year. I actually was in France in June. So I love Europe, but yes, that is the furthest I've gone.
I love it. Well, before we close, can you feel free to share where our listeners can connect with you and any offers you may have for them?
Yep, you bet. So you can find my podcast. It's called Heal from Infidelity. And even if you've not experienced infidelity, many people have experienced betrayals of one form or another. And there's valuable content there for those things. My website's andreagiles.com. I have Instagram, The Infidelity Coach. As far as offers go, funny question. I actually just this week am introducing a new offer. So I have a group program that I've been running for quite a while, and I'm just changing it up a little bit. So yeah, doors are opening. Probably at the time that this recording goes out, the doors will be open to it.
Fantastic. Okay, yep. I'll leave links for all of those in the show notes.
Awesome.
Andrea, thank you so much for making time out of your busy family and business schedule. I have loved every minute of chatting with you today.
As well. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a joy.
Thank you for being an open book and sharing your story. You will bless many lives of that, I'm sure.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
August of 2023 marks the 1-year anniversary of Beyond the Shadow of Doubt. And simultaneously, we hit 5,000 downloads. My genuine thanks. I ask you a favor, and that is to subscribe if you have not, share a favorite episode with a friend, and most importantly, take 2 minutes and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Help me reach my goal of 10,000 downloads by the end of 2023. Come join me in Hopeful Spaces, a Dallas Hope Charities component of Hopeful Discussions, which is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz Financial Services USA. Hopeful Spaces is a monthly parent, caregiver, and ally support group facilitated by Megan Skidmore Coaching. To join is free. Simply send an email to chc@dallashopecharities.org. Visit meganskidmorecoaching.com, where you can find this podcast, as well as additional free resources. Check the podcast show notes on any platform for links to sources cited. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram for more and to send me a DM. To help the podcast grow, please follow, rate, and review, as well as share it with a friend. Beyond the Shadow of Doubt is a proud member of the Dialogue Podcast Network, which is a part of the Dialogue Journal found at dialoguejournal.com/podcast network. Founder Eugene England was a Mormon writer, teacher, and scholar who wrote, "My faith encourages my curiosity and awe. It thrusts me out into relationship with all creation and encourages me to enter into dialogue. My hope is that this podcast is an extension of that vision." Thanks for being here. Until next time.